back on the dreaded Total War Warhammer 2. And as you can see from this map here, Alex boy, look Alex boy, things have gone well since last we saw each other. The last 50 turns went well. Fall. I waged a war with the French. I managed to keep the Empire out. I made peace with the Dark Elves. And the war against the French went very well indeed. Let me talk you through how this was achieved. As you can see, I have a metric shitload of money. I mean, literally more money than anyone will ever know what to do with. It is now at 4.5 million. Basically meaning that I can achieve almost whatever I want to in the diplomacy stakes in this game now. But as it turned out, I didn't really need to do much. What I did was I cancelled my various arrangements with the French, who are still at large. Where are they? Where are the French? I'll find them. A shadow of their former selves. A shadow of their former selves. Where are they? Here they are. Okay, so they still have 18 settlements left, and they're ranked as the 5th strongest. But if you remember, they were up in the 60s or something. I have taken lots of territory from them. But I cancelled all of my various pacts and things with them. And then, what did I do? I got the, where are they? The Empire, again, for huge amounts of money. I went in there and I got them to cancel their various trade partnerships and alliances and things with the French, just for, even if they then went back to some of those things afterwards, just for like that one turn where I was going to declare war, I got them to cancel. Now, I didn't do that with all of the other allies that the French had, and they had a number of different allies. They're probably, look, they're still allied with a lot of them. And that ended up costing me, and as we'll get to. But the main story is that I didn't have to worry about the Empire at all during the Vampire War against the French. So, if you remember last time, they mainly had lands down here, all across this area here, and up into the middle, and a few over here. And basically, I had them surrounded, and I maneuvered my troops into position and basically swooped in, and it was like a knife through butter. In all honesty, I just kind of, took all of this, swept west, and then swept up here, and I basically had all of the armies together, like 6 or 7 armies, all sweeping in the same direction. It was basically irresistible. There were a few defeats along the way, I think. Where they had their king unit, I forget his name now. They took a couple of victories, but all in all, the tide of the war was very much in my favour. And as part of it, these guys, the Awakened, became my vassals. I think they're still my vassals, are they? Yes, they are vassals of mine now, which is pretty impressive because, when they became vassals, they were not rank 3, but they have been pretty solid all the way through that war. There hasn't been an option to confederate them. It would be good to just merge at this point, but they were pretty effective in their part of the war. There were a group of dwarves down here who they were fighting with, and basically they helped to eliminate those. They were just useful in general. They held up their end of the war pretty well. They devastated whoever was up here, and slowly but surely they're kind of recolonizing all of those. But the Awakened have been good allies, very good allies. And basically, as I was smashing the French during this war, I had the shock of my life, because I even took a screenshot of it and had my friend Roland Rat put it on Twitter, which was that in the middle of this, the Dark Elves basically contacted me and said, how do you fancy a non-aggression principle? How do you fancy a non-aggression alliance? All we want for it really is $2,000. I was like, what? $2,000? You've turned down hundreds of thousands of perfectly good units of dark magic, and basically overnight, you turned all those things down, and basically overnight you have change your mind, basically. I don't know what's happened to that non-aggression principle, because it seems to be gone now, but it was certainly in effect a few turns ago. So anyway, I didn't have the Dark Elves to worry about. I didn't have the Empire to worry about, and basically won the war until the French came begging for peace, which I granted them. I thought, well, I lived to let him fight another day, for the time being, mainly because his remaining territories quite hard to get to over here for me. Now, one part of that war did not go so well. So I would say that in the southern, in the areas that I really wanted, which was, just to show you, my empire is an eastern empire, all along the east edge of the map and the mountains, and I had this bit before, and I basically annexed that whole area to it, this whole area here. But if you recall, back at the tail end of my great war against the lizard men, there was a bit of afters involving various wood elves, or tree people, or whatever they're called, the wood elves, and I took a number of wood elf places up here somewhere. Where are they? Over here. I think they are. Right. And if you remember, at one point I held the Oak of Ages and the King's Glade and these territories over here. And unfortunately, during the thick of the war, the French, what is the actual name of the French? The Couronne, or the Bretonnians, as they're known in the game. They were allied with all of these independent factions over here. And basically they all declared war on me, obviously, as part of the big war. And I ended up losing the Oak of Ages, the King's Glade. I basically just lost all of these in quick succession. And my troops and things were all the way over here. I did have a number of troops try to win them back, but they all lost in their various wars. And I thought, well, I'll cut my losses. I'll accept all of this stuff down here, all of these amazing territories down here, in exchange for losing those tree places. So that is basically what happened. It's basically what happened. And that's it, really. Just a quick update, basically telling you what's been going on. This whole thing, I mean, this was the extent of where we got. And yeah, like I said, the Awakened were pretty handy in helping win all of these. If they hadn't been around, I think the war may have gone a bit differently. Like, if the Bretonnians had to have... It was just me and they had all of these various other places. If they didn't have the Awakened pecking all the time, I think the war may have gone a bit differently in this part. Down here, obviously the Awakened weren't that much help. They were great help against these dwarves down here. But in general, in this part, where the sea territory was, I actually think they helped out quite a bit. That brings us on to the small matter of what happens now. And honestly, eyeing up the lay of the land, I mean, I'd love to know. I don't think the Confederation option is an option for the Awakened, unless there's some mod way of doing it, or unless, which is essentially cheating, I think, using a mod. But I don't think in the mechanics of the game it allows you to confederate with the Awakened, because it would be wonderful just to keep them as allies for the rest of the game, basically. Thematically, the Vampire Coast, the Vampire Counts should be allied, I reckon. Really, I've got my eye on these moon people. Who are they? Who are the moon people? This the sound is a bit loud, isn't it? Let me just turn down the sound a minute. So yeah, these moon people, who are they? Oh shit, they are the Dark Elves. All right. Oh, that changes that then. All right. See, that shows how little contact I've had with the Dark Elves, because I didn't know they were the moon people. Who are these people up here? The College of Pyrotechnics. I mean, basically, we've got the Dark Elves, we've got the Empire, and then we've got all of these like dribs and drabs left. And we've got the Awakened, obviously. And then we've got all these dribs and drabs left in the middle. And ideally, I think what I want is, I'm pretty butthurt about losing these territories. So I'd quite like to sweep in there, take all of those, but to do so in a way that doesn't put me at war with the Empire would be nice. So that's one little bit of unfinished business I have. Not sure who these guys are. They are... Yeah, they only have those two territories left. Not big fans of mine. I'm currently not at war with anybody, you'll notice. I am trading with the Empire and the Awakened, and I have the Awakened as vassals. Which I was really surprised they were willing to do it, but throw them a bit of coin and anything's possible in this game, I found. And one thing I've got is coin, a lot of coin. So yeah, there was a bit of argy-bargy here. I lost that to a sneak attack from some rogue group. The French had a lot of like little minnow allies that were just annoying during the war, but in general, it wasn't that taxing. I also had some epic victories playing the actual battles. They weren't all auto resolves. I found in this game that the raiding a settlement or defending a settlement is far more winnable and easier in the actual battle than in the auto resolve, i.e. what the computer thinks is going to be a resounding defeat or whatever, you can turn around because it's much more tactical. You can use the walls, you can use the towers, and I don't know, I just found it much easier in those sorts of battle matchups to turn things around. I also had some pretty good field victories in the actual playing the battles. One or two humiliating defeats as well, I have to add, including one against the Wood Elves. Less said, the better, really. But generally, I found the matchups with the French were actually pretty good for the undead. Typically I'm fielding a lot of elite units, plus I'll have like 2 armies. So one elite army with the Blood Knights and the big flying dragon things, and the hero units and so on, and then that will be backed up with another army full of like skeleton spearmen or whatever. However, I have so much money that I was actually going like 5, 6, 7 armies deep with that sort of setup. So yeah, I'm just kind of building I'm building a Vampire Crypt and Necromancer thing in every single city, because that is one of the reasons I've got so much money, because they give good income. Here's another one. Yeah, you see, get to level 5 in all of them. What else am I doing in most places? I can explain my general setup in most places if you want, which is that typically in a big city, that's not a good example because it's that's a special one. It's a good example. This is a pretty good example. So in most places, I'm built. For the smaller ones, I build them for defense, and for expanding corruption, vampiric corruption in the surrounding areas, and public order. That's what I'm mainly using these for. When you're undead, you don't need to bother with garrisons, with recruitment at all. So I haven't built any recruitment pretty much anywhere. And if there's a recruitment there, I'll get rid of it. And the reason for that is because you basically never need to recruit normally as a vampire count. Let me just show you an example. So here is an army. You can see like he's got a pretty elite army there. A few skeleton warriors left. But for the purposes of this, that's how you normally recruit units. And you can see I haven't leveled that up at all in this place in there, because there's just no point, because undead recruit using this raised dead thing, and you've basically got the entire roster there. The entire roster's there. So you can basically raise an army, a 20 army, straight away using that mechanism. So there's never a reason, as far as I can see, to build those buildings. So instead, in most setups, I've gone for, if there's a special thing available, I'll build that. But if not, standard, I'll build either the watchtower plus the extra garrison troops, which makes it harder to take if they're attacking. And then in the third slot, I'll either put public order to stop rebellions, or I'll put this thing which spreads corruption in adjacent provinces. Now there are some pretty epic special buildings which provide huge amounts of corruption across the empire. One of them's down here somewhere. Where was that one? Is it this one? Let me just show you that, because it's pretty phenomenal. Is it this one? Sorry, I've become a little bit distracted. Why can't... Oh, okay, because it's not... Alright, I have to wait. Well, it's not that one. Is it this one? This thing here, look. The Vault of Nagash. Deep inside the Pyramid of Nagash is said to be a vault, cursed with undead magic by the fabled necromancer himself. Only very few know what secrets it truly holds. Right? All armies get plus 30 Winds of Magic power reserve. Fucking amazing. Plus 3 recruit rank nationwide. All armies get 10% magic resistance. Plus 50 magic corruption and 25 in all adjacent provinces. I mean, that is fucking incredible. So, yeah, that is quite the building right there. Yes, that is cool, I would say. And pretty much, yeah, so I've shown you my basic setup in most of the various cities, and then depending on, you see this one, because there's nothing special, nothing else going, don't need vampiric corruption because of that building, so that's getting the defense and the public order, you know, very boring setup. You know, same in this one. That just makes it much harder for people to sneak in and take, because the garrison that provides is actually pretty solid, and they have to come with at least some force to take it, you know. And then in all other places, in the big ones, I'm going with these. And what that does, let me just give you a good example. If I can find the capital is probably a good example, right? So if I go to the capital, Castle Drakenhof, which is the Empire's capital, and I will go to recruit a lord. I mean, look, you're getting a level 34 necromancer or a level 27 vampire lord straight off or a level 34 vampire lord here. Look, straight off the bounce. He's dead, coming back to life, I think. But look, 34, 34, 34, 34, 34. I mean, they're pretty high. That's a 34 level lord straight in. And then the heroes, if you want to recruit them, they come in level 32 if they're a necromancer. And I don't know why the vampires are so low level, but generally speaking, yeah. Look, so typically what I'm looking to do is I want a vampire lord with a necromancer hero next to him, and you know, that's the ideal setup. You have one vampire with a necro next to him, and they you know, those units alone can do a hell of a lot of damage with their magic, you know. And that's another good reason to play the battles when your vampire counts, is because, you know, I'm not talking like every single battle because it's pointless to play them all, as I've said, but if it's close defeat, or if it's you know, if you just look at it and it looks like, well, I'll turn that around, it's worth playing them, because there's a few little spells that can turn battles around. The raised dead, like some of these guys get like 10 extra armies that they can raise. They're invaluable, you know, because those chump zombies and skeletons that you can raise during the battle can distract or wipe out or just cause all sorts of trouble. You plonk them on some enemy archers or whatever, and it just kind of hampers them. And then there's a few extremely powerful spells available to them. The main school is the Law of Vampires, and I mean, the Wind of Death. You know, especially when you're casting at the higher levels, if you get the angle right, that can take out an entire unit, an entire infantry unit on its own. That is a great spell. This is a brilliant spell because it can basically keep units alive. And you know, if you you can use it creatively. So I mean, one way to use it, you can stick it on your rays. You can stick it on your skeletons or whatever to keep on resurrecting them. But another way to use it is by using it on the other hero units or the other lord units, or the big flying ones whose names I forget, because they're pretty powerful as well. So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. I actually find that they're this is the big kind of dragon. I mean, one of those can do a hell of a lot. If you have a look at Manfred's army, wherever that is, the composition of his army, he's got three of them in there. Like, he's mainly just got heroes, few knights, those. And in my experience, the knights could be stronger for the undead. I do think that they're a bit squishy, to be honest. You know, they're good for charging, as all cavalry units are, but they do not hold their own very well if they get bogged down. They're pure charging units, a lot of them. They do have these hex ones, wherever they are. I mean, they're the infantry version. They're quite good. They can turn certain units to mincemeat. They don't have a lot of ranged, but through certain specials you do get these crossbowmen, and they also have some gunners that you saw. And again, everything's situational. Typically I don't take them, but in certain situations they can be very handy, having a bit of ranged. That was one of the the kind of launching my attack on the settlement. Having those crossbowmen there basically helped turn the battle around, because I was able to get them on the walls, and you know, just a few crossbowmen on some walls can really make a difference in this game, if you know what you're doing, which I don't, but I know enough to win a few battles. All right, that'll do for now. I will be back again with the next action report. I mean, there is the question of what do I do next, because frankly, if I went with how I feel is I might just keep on ending turn, collecting money, upgrading stuff until somebody declares war, and then fight whoever that is. But if I was to be more proactive than that, maybe the time has come to fight the Empire. Trouble is, that battle is going to be so messy, isn't it? I don't like messy. I like to have like secure fronts, easy battle plans, you know, contained wars like that one against the French that I just had. What I don't like is the prospect of this mega war up here. I mean, think about how that's going to be. I mean, one thing would be swoop up there. He's reasonably strong, this guy, but what's more important than the guy who's there at the minute is this. There's a recruitment slot there for me. Fairly big battle. You can, you know, it's not exactly the full roster, but it's a strong enough roster. So I can launch armies from there, basically. And swoop up there. Swoop up. They won't see that coming. I imagine they don't have a lot of... I imagine these are fairly lightly defended up here. Swoop there. Then I can launch another attack from here. Swoop that way. And then pretty much down here is my basically stronghold. Like, this is my actual stronghold. So, you know, if you look at it, they are fairly well contained, the Empire, by the fact that they have no way of getting men down here, anywhere down here. So I don't have to worry about the defense of any of this, really. I just have to worry about where's the easiest entry point for the Empire. Here, really. Yeah, take that one. Take that one. And then pretty much it's plain sailing, because they can only... the bulk of their stuff is there. Unless I'm missing something. The bulk of their stuff is up there. So my instinct is actually to go with a... maybe this is the time to attack the Empire. I may need to like, a lot of my troops are, you know, they're getting back home after the big war. Getting back up here. So, wouldn't be that difficult, would it? They're already kind of in place. I think launching one... think of this war in separate... what do they call them? Spheres. It's not spheres in war, is it? Theatres, right? Separate theatres of war. Well, I can launch one attack from the western border princes. If I get all of these dudes and just get them to hang around here, that's one attack up that way through the western border princes. Then there'll be another general central attack from Sylvania itself. Take that easily. So they're launching that way, maybe. One up here, one that way. Okay, so from the western border princes up, from Sylvania west and north. But also I can attack from Red Eye Mountain west, and then another attack generally from here west. So there's basically four spheres of four theatres. I would say, looking at the map, the least or the most vulnerable area is up here. And what I would expect to happen actually is that I will take these with relative ease, but I expect this war to go more badly and to lose these territories and have to win them back. That's how I suspect this will go. Now, I need to be careful, right? I need to make sure I need to make preparations. I need to make sure that this place is defended, Barcelon's camp, and that this place, Karak of Lag. These are the two ways that the Empire could sneak in around the back. So I need to protect that, I need to protect that, and then I actually need to make a priority of taking Volksgrad and Prague. Take those quickly. Now I seem to remember that I couldn't take Prague before because there's a bridge here somewhere. That the action is cut off by this bridge. So I can imagine that the battles take place there. But yes. So maybe a priority is taking that strategically early. Maybe I need to start the war here, actually. That's a very big recruiting point, which is a boon. A boon, I tell you. So I can get an army up and running there quickly, a new one maybe. Up and running. Maybe I'll set up while I'm on the stream, I'll set that up now. So I'll get... Look at this, look at this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy. Oh. Right, let's get him up and running. Just give him everything. Come on. Yeah. Let's get him up and running. Yeah. That'll do us. That'll do us. Come on, son. Okay, so yeah, I'll give him his skill. Yeah, let's do his skill points. Because I can talk you through what I'm looking for. I want him on a zombie dragon. I want him being immortal, obviously. These are first ports of call. I want to give him all of the key necromancer skills. You know, all of these ones, these favourites, that one, you know, pretty much this whole line basically. He wants all of that. And then he wants all of the fighty ones up here. And look at this, he's already fucking beast, this guy, right? He's already a beast. Look at that. Level 34 straight in. So this dude is gonna he's gonna be the one who starts the war up here. I've decided this is what's gonna happen. So he's gonna go up there. Actually, we want at least 2, don't we? So let's give him backup. Let's give him I don't want a hero. I want a vampire. Another. I can't recruit again. I have to do it next turn. Okay. So, but anyway, you get the idea. I'll have one going that way. Oh look, these are decent battles. I'll have the Lord come from here instead. This dude. Right, and we'll give him the others. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll put him down this way. We'll just put him there for the time being, okay? So, I'm going to launch an attack on Volksgrad there. Now, up in the north, I've already prepared, you see. The only way in is by attacking Crackerjack up here. And Wolf Crick of Crackerjack has been up here for the entire game, wasting away. He's like the kind of, in Game of Thrones, you know, the up on the wall in the north. You know, he's just been stuck there with this chump army this entire time. But if you can see, very well defended. Very well defended. Super garrison. So, if they try to attack there, they're not going to be able to get in at all. And if they, you know, try to skip it and go there, he can easily come in. All right, so that's that taken care of. So I want to quickly, with these two, take Volksgrad and Prague, right? I'll give the same deal. I want to give him a zombie dragon. I want to make him immortal. All of these, exactly the same build. I mean, these are for fighting more than anything else, and I want just make him as good as possible. Why is that one different there? How come I got further? Something was different then. Oh well. Anyway, so that's going to be that. Then, I mean, if I'm going to do this, I've got this dude who's been stuck in the Red Eye Mountain for all game as well. He can defend there, but ideally I want to launch attacks from this place, which I will do. Look how well stocked these garrisons are. You know, it's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. I mean, maybe the garrisons are strong enough that they won't even be able to take them anyway. So maybe old Richmond himself can launch the attack, you know. So that's another way in, and I can launch attacks here. But then I think the chief concern is going to be down here. But this is also where I'm strongest. I've got huge recruitment points. All of my big strongholds, they're all pretty well defended, etc. So I'm going to get my guys. Where's Manfred? he is the most important unit because he is almost unbeatable. He's in the eastern border princes at the moment. Okay, so maybe he can launch the attack from the western border princes. He's going to launch the attack that way, up there. He's going to lead that. And we've got these dudes who are going to back him up. They're all going to help. Going to be part of the invasion force. There's Helmundgorst. Maybe he can have a special mission, Helmundgorst, to take these two up here. Yeah, maybe he can lead the charge that way. He can lead the charge that way. Through here. There could be argy-bargy with these. They're not at war with me, but they could... Who are the Empire at war with? Because they're going to get dragged in. You know they're going to get dragged in. It doesn't matter though, because I want those territories up there anyway. So maybe Dirk the Woodcutter can go with Helmundgorst, because he is the woodcutter after all, and he likes to chop down trees. So that's how he got the name in the first place. So Manfred and this dude here will be the support. These two that way. And then up here, he can launch an assault this way. Take this place here. Don't actually fancy his chances, actually. I've got a feeling that this is a very hard place to take. He might have a better chance, so... Maybe these two can try to take this place here. Yeah. And this bitch, who's been pretty effective, to be honest, to her. She's not bad. She can go to the moot to get ready to launch an attack here. That would be a good one. Is the actual Emperor there, though? Is that saying that the Emperor is there? She'll probably lose that battle. Okay, she could do with some backup herself. I'll leave him there. There must be other armies I've got down here somewhere. Oh, he's far too far away. He, true to his name, dealt with some rebels down here. Some rebels took some of these places, and he knocked them out, which is his job, really, the rebel slayer. Okay. Not too worried about these places, really. I mean, there's not much going on in these regions anymore. I think they just don't have to worry about them ever again. Ideally, I'd never have to worry about them. You know. Why can't I build that then? Weird. Why am I not allowed to build the... Okay, I'll come back to that. Okay, so maybe I do need new armies. Who's this? They're too far away. These ones are too far away. So what I'll do is I'll just generally send them up here. You know, so they can get there in a few turns or whatever. Yeah. This one. I'm going to raise some new armies in a minute. I'm just generally sending these guys up there so that they can get involved later. Quite a big empire at this point. There's a lot of random stuff like this to be getting on with. Okay, so anything else? Any other? No. So what I'm going to do then is that she needs backup in this war here. So I'm going to recruit this level 34 necromancer to back her up. Come on. Come on, let's be having you. Yeah. Make him reasonably strong, and then so he can, you know, they can attack in there like that. That's one assault. That's another assault. This is another assault. What else do we need to do? There's going to be one up there. That's going to start it off. Probably need to worry about defense up here somewhere. Not very good recruiting spots up there. There haven't been many battles in this area. Been quite settled since the start of the game. I'm keeping him in Castle Drakenhof just in case they decide to, you know, get clever. I lost it once, or they raided it once or whatever during some other war, and I've been paranoid since then. I feel like it's going to be difficult not to lose any settlements at all in the time available, but let's get another one of these, you know, just for shits and giggles. Yeah, that'll do us. He's okay, this dude, and I'll have him go up there, and I'll have another one. Here's a level 34. They're a bit shit though, these guys, these Ghoul Kings. Let's just get him anyway. And we'll give him, he's got charge bonus, so we'll give him a shitload of cavalry. How about that? Just give him all the cavalry. And we'll give him mortis engine. And we'll give him those dudes. Yeah, he's pretty strong now. And I'll send him up there. And I think that will basically put us in pretty good stead for this upcoming war, which I'm about to launch. What else? I might as well do all these. Yeah, and then here's another one. Here we go. And we won't play it now. I'm just setting up really. Well, I'll give you the, given that I started doing these. Oh, look at this! He can ride a fucking massive dragon. Oh, all right. I'll stick him on there. That looks fucking cool. So, all right. I'll give him, you know, the standard stuff. Yeah, have it all, and then you might as well have these. Maybe they get a bit better at higher level, these Ghoul Kings. I don't know, but that's pretty wicked, isn't it? So, there we are. We're all set, friends. We're all set for a massive invasion. I'll let you know what happens next time.